was just an excuse to do a very rich, decadent collection. Why not?
It's a very confident woman that enjoys every day. So that's my muse.
I've done so many shows now over the past couple of years in New York that I thought it was just interesting to disappear for a minute and bring it here. And I knew that I had this collaboration with Moncler that we were going to be doing this event.
The inspiration was the aristocratic woman. It's a very classic situation.
Inspired by Casati, who was an Italian heiress. She was kind of around in Paris really at the beginning of the 20th century. She was a patron of the arts. She had a portrait painted by a lot of people. But the point about her was she was very extreme and very eccentric dresser. And I just looking at photographs of her, and it was just an excuse to do a very rich, decadent collection. Why not? Yeah, I mean, we always do separates, but we don't normally show them. But we were working with a new stylist, Tony Irvin, and he wanted us to use them, so we did, which was a very slouchy, decadent sort of look, and lots of open necklines and big pajama pants. Started with a lot of fabric research, lots of jacquard, lots of field coupe design. Yeah, lots of trousers. And then we added astrakhan and sheepskin and lots of velvet. We have some really cool mohair knits, which we translated from the bias dresses, and with big sleeves.
I'm obsessed with Victorian necklines, and I saw a lot of that. It was gorgeous, very Victorian, and comfortable. And there was this beautiful purple shimmery number, and I loved it. I'm obsessed with hats. I want one. I love to stand out, and that one, you definitely stand out.
Stephen Jones hats, yeah, I know they were fab in goat. It used to be yak, but now it's goat because you can't use yak anymore, but in goat hair, yeah.
Well, my favorite were the two black dresses that had open back. I thought that was really elegant and feminine. Sexy, definitely. Yeah, it was actually kind of like this one. This one has the open back as well. I love the shoes. I mean, how it can't get more comfortable. Why wear heels, right? I'm only gonna go to shows like this now. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, very feminine, nice and floaty fabric.
Lots of silk and georgette and quite rich mix. A lot of bias cutting, but it was more sort of three-dimensional bias, so it was away from the body, so it wasn't so glamour, figure-hugging. It was bias, but more drapey, slouchy pajama-y sort of feeling to it. I mean, a lot of the pajama looks were dresses with trousers underneath, where you could wear the dress on its own. But we liked styling it like that, so it was just more decadent, more oriental, sort of cool.
It was kind of a particular style, kind of a very iconic Mugler style. I always loved the shape and the power that it has. It inspired me and gave me just the idea of doing a very, very strong silhouette with those peak shoulders and masculine tailoring. And that was the starting point. And then we build on keeping the concept very, very tight, but going into different materials. There's a lot of cashmere, a lot of silks, a lot of very light materials that have the same sculptural effect and same strength.
I love David's work. It's really sexy, and I think that for every woman, you want to wear clothes to make you feel sexy, but he's also so fashion forward. Always nailing all the trends, and all of his stuff is so high quality, and I think he's developing so much as a designer, and he's only getting better. I'm a fan of everything he's ever done, and he's been doing a really beautiful job. Yes, I am. This is Mugler. A little Unfortunately, wearing leather in the rain is never a good idea, and it's pouring outside.
And then again, the shine. There was so many different type of shine with all those pleated silk lame. It's very feminine, has a beautiful movement, but with the graphic plissé, it remains quite strong. And I love working on that contrast. We've used a lot of couture elements that we injected into a ready-to-wear collection. All the shimmering graphic line was inspired by deconstructed constellation framing the body. In the last section, there is one silver jacket that had hours and hours of handwork. It's like millions of beads, but it looks very clean and sleek at the same time. There was a section at the end where you have the play on the idea of a deconstructed tuxedo or the tuxedo jumpsuit. It is very evening wear for me. Maybe it doesn't have that much embroidery and sparkle, but it has its own beauty. It's a very confident woman that enjoys every day. So that's my muse.
Moncler approached me, and I think that they have a very exciting recent tradition of doing these very cool collaborations. They seem to seek out designers who are doing things in either a very innovative or artistic way, and so it felt great that I was on their radar. I felt like it was a perfect opportunity because you would never actually put my aesthetic and the Moncler aesthetic in the same sentence. And I think that's exactly why it makes sense, because it's two completely opposite ideas that happen to find a perfect middle ground somewhere, and so I'm thrilled with what we did. I really wanted to try to apply my signature approach, and so obviously repurposed military fabrics is a huge part of, part of what I do. And so the first group was clearly figuring out how to make that work with the Moncler jackets, and they have some beautiful pieces that kind of speak to a military feeling. And so it was natural to combine them with my love for repurposed fabrics. And then, of course, the iconic Moncler blue and red group was very interesting. Not that it was more challenging, but it felt like a stronger contradiction, which is what ultimately makes those the most interesting pieces, because they're unexpected mixes of fabric. Of course, we had to do the all-black group because it's elegant and everyone loves to wear all black, and it was much more about the textures than an obvious contradiction. It's a unisex collection, but there are specific men's and women's pieces. But interestingly, which I think is very much part of the style right now, a lot of women are gravitating towards the men's pieces. Because it's oversized, but yet it's still structured, and so I think what's fun about it is it's got an attitude to it, you know. But for the person that wants a more fitted piece, we have more traditionally cut women's pieces as well. Truth is, this season I didn't do any other fashion week. I brought my collection to Paris, and I thought it was just sort of an interesting idea. I've done so many shows now over the past couple of years in New York that I thought it was just interesting to disappear for a minute and bring it here. And I knew that I had this collaboration with Moncler, that we were going to be doing this event. So that's the story.
The inspiration was the aristocratic woman. It's a very classic situation. The woman is Marella Agnelli, is very Italian aristocratic, and Hélène Rochas is very French eccentricity. It's a mixing between this story. It's very classic. The makeup is makeup, no makeup. Very important because I want the beautiful face, beautiful girl, and the hair is completely little end. For me, it's very important, the elegant. It's very important for me also the DNA for the maison, which in the material. This, the double cashmere, the brocade, the mikado, the paillette. This is very important for me because it's the heritage of Rochas. In the contemporary mood, with color, but erotic mood. Not a lot of glamour, but glamour very soft.